Good evening to one and all. A warm welcome to 47th International Workshop on Quantitative Research, Free Experimental Research Design, Golden Jubilee Year of NEHU, May 2022 to May 2023. International Workshop Series, a series of 100 programs every Friday, 5 to 7 p.m. Research and Publication for Happiness and Development. Jointly organized by Internal Quality Assurance Cell, IQAC, Northeastern Hill University, NEHU, Shillong, Meghalaya, and Indian Society for Training and Development, ISTD, Shillong Chapter, Meghalaya, in collaboration with the Department of Philosophy and IQAC, MORAN College, affiliated to Dibrugarh University, MORANHAT, ASSAM, and Department of Philosophy, Sri Venkateswara University, Tirupati, Andhra Pradesh. On this special occasion, actually today is the third day of the Dasara celebrations. A warm welcome to today's keynote speaker, my guru, collaborator, Professor P. Chinnaya sir, Honorable Vice Chancellor, Professor Prabhasankar Sukla sir, Northeastern Hill University, Professor Raja Reddy's House, Honorable Vice Chancellor, Sri Venkateswara University, Professor Mithali Kaur ma'am, Principal Moran College, Dr. Rajendra Prasad Vartapur sir, IQAC Coordinator, Moran College, Dr. Srutasuni Gugay, Head Department of Philosophy and Workshop Coordinator, Moran College, Professor B.S. Mipun sir, Chairman ISTD Shillong Chapter, and Professor Dikshit sir, Director IQAC NEHU. A warm welcome to all the participants. Pre-experimental research design. Being a teacher of education and philosophy, Professor Chinnaya sir is rightly mentioned so many things in our programs. This is in series of within a workshop series, 99th program. Tomorrow we are going to organize our 100th program of Friday, Saturday programs. So here the pre-experimental research design, Professor Chinnaya sir going to inform about the philosophical background of experimental research. So not only in the laboratory or in education institutions or academic institution or research institution, in our daily life also we are doing n number of experiments. So here pre-experiment, post-experiment, quasi-experiment, true experiment, statistical, there are n number of research designs. In the present workshop, we are going to concentrate on pre-experimental research design. What are the philosophical aspects, psychological, sociological, technological, statistical, n number of things. Whenever you are going to do something, what type of variables, maybe a dependent variable, independent variable, intervening variables. There are more than 8 to 10 types of variables. Already we organized one of the workshops on the types of variables, even data also, primary data, secondary data, tertiary data. So Professor Chinnaya sir going to uncover the covered things related to experimental research, philosophical, with a special reference to philosophy and education. Going to present after Professor Chinnaya sir keynote address. I'm requesting the noble participants to explore and participate more. This is a very active. Whenever we are doing actively, we can learn many things. Yesterday, while delivering lecture to Pune University, this just simply I presented the way I'm presenting in our programs. The teachers are also very much happy. Sir, in general, we are using ICT in our classes, but how we can integrate, we can assess, we can learn, we can teach, and the extension activities. So all these things we can include in our research. Even Dr. Sushila madam also joined. We can, what type of experiments they can do after keynote address of Professor Chinnaya sir, we can listen Professor Sushila madam also. I am requesting to be ready In general, many things we can learn among the participants. There are n number of participants are there. Those who have a vast experience, we are going to utilize their services also. With this, we can start our program as usual with Vande Mataram. Then we are enthusiastically waiting to listen from Professor Chennai sir.
वन्दे मातरम् वन्दे मातरम् सुजला सुफला मलयज शीतला सस्यश्यामला मातरम् वन्दे मातरम् ज्योत्स्ना पुलकितयामिनी पुल्लकुसुमित द्रुमदल शोभिनी सुधा मातरम् वन्दे मातरम् वन्दे मातरम्.
Thank you. Now I am requesting Professor P. Chennai sir, my guru, to deliver keynote address. Over to you, sir.
Respectable coordinator, Dr. Amaresh sir, who is the designer of the program and who is organizing these programs with an excellent manner. And he's actively doing to organize these types of programs with an exemplary manner. And all the participants of the program. Research and search are most important for knowing the great truths of the external world and the internal world. If you know many things about the external world, we may develop many things for the sake of our standard of living, for our human growth. If you go inward very carefully, if you know about our inner nature, we may get more happiness on the basis of contentment, on the basis of great understanding. We need great understanding about internal world and the external world, knowing about oneself and knowing about the external world. These are most important. We are using research and search to know the integrated outlook of the world. So here in this connection, I share today something about one great African philosopher. His name is Hugo Chavez. So he's a social philosopher. He has a great psychological understanding about the revolutions. He fought many things. He worked as a president for Venezuela. And he has given revolutionary changes in the people's minds on the basis of democracy, capitalism, socialism, understanding about various types of things. He said, in the world we have so many problems. The entire world is based on the activities of the human beings. The combination of human beings is a world. Human beings are facing so many types of crises in the world. We have a psychological crisis, physical crisis, religious crisis, all types of crises we have. These are almost man-made crises. Some predicaments we find from the nature, from cosmos, but the most of the crises, predicaments are created by human being mind. So these human problems are created by human being thought. For this, we need a radical change in the mind. We need psychological change, psychological revolution. Here he is saying, if you change psychologically, relating with our thought process, you can create change in the external world. The external world is the manifestation of inner mind. If you are so much of ambitious, greedy, attached, worry about many things, you won't find any happiness in the world. If you are a cool, tender, pleasant, desireless, then you can see a world which is so much of beauty and love. So for that, we need psychological revolution. If you depend on the physical revolution without having understanding about the psychological change or a psychological mutation or a psychological transformation or a psychological revolution. So for that, he is telling awareness is the most important thing. If you are aware of your internal world, your thoughts and external world, that awareness creates radical change in our brain process. That creates change in the behavior. This is essential for living peacefully in the world. He's telling, in the world we have a democratic countries, communistic countries, dictatorships, kingdoms, monarchs, various types of political systems in the world. We need a better system that is called democracy. Democracy with a socialism. He is telling, a democracy based on socialistic principles are the great source for living with a dignity and respect in the world. Here in the socialism, we find great respect for the fulfillment of needs of the people in the society. Here in the socialism, the production, the distribution, the exchange, all economic activities are governed by the government. If you are in a capitalistic economy or a capitalistic country, you won't find the regulation of production, distribution, exchange on the basis of social welfare and human welfare principles. Here in the capitalism, we find the economy based on profit, self-centeredness. That's why in the world, we have a great resources. He's telling, Hugo Chavez telling, we have a sufficient resources in the world. We have sufficient money in the world. We have no peace, we have no love, we have no good relations in the world. We are spending billions of rupees for the defense, to purchase war weapons, to kill people, to prepare bombs. We are spending our most of the economic resources for spending for defense. What do you mean that? If you have a love in the society, you won't find any insecurity. When there is a love, there is a security. Why you have no love in the human society? Because of self-centeredness, because of no respect on other human beings. You are treating with a different manner for other human beings. So if you love, if you give, if you share, if you have a kind consideration for other beings, you get more security. When there is a security, when there is a wisdom, there we find love and peace. When there is a love and peace in the world, we don't need any security relating with Army, Navy, Air Force. We may reduce the expenditure of defense. We may spend that resources for the development of education, human resources, great things for human welfare, for medicine and all the things. But we are not changing psychologically. We are depending externally only. We are not following the roots of all human problems. So if you want to kill a tree, if you kill the tree root, you may kill immediately the tree process. If you kill the branches and leaves, you won't kill the tree. The roots are there. Roots will supply water, food and everything to tree. In the same manner, If you concentrate more on the external world and the human behavior and everything, for change of world, for creating a world peace and everything, you won't get more results. You have to go inwardly. The problem roots are in the consciousness, in the memory, in the experiences, in the thought process. You have to go to your mind, watch your mind, see your mind, transfer your inner consciousness. Then you can change the external consciousness or the external behavior of the world. So here in the capitalistic society, we find more inequalities. So less people, less percentage of the people, 90% of the income may get 10% of the people. 90% of the people get only 10% of the income. Here we find this is the process of capitalistic economy. If you are in the socialistic economy, if you are following the principles of socialism, you may create more opportunities for all people in the society. You may reduce on the basis of constitutional reforms the economic inequalities. We may give more economic resources for all kinds of people with a different manner. We may create employment. We may create a social security, pension, employment, job, food, dignity, and everything. So here in the capitalistic sources, according to the African philosopher Hugo Chavez said, so in the capitalistic economy, we find a racism, imperialism, despotism, cruel governments we find, domination, violation of human rights, violation of women's rights, violation of children's rights. They may ill-treat. So in the capitalistic economy, sometimes they may encourage racism also. Here, what do you mean by racism? Sometimes they may create divisions or discrimination between blacks and whites, or the poor people and rich people, or the young people or old people, or they may create various types of divisions. They may create religious intolerance, political intolerance. They may create changes relating with the facial expression of the people, the color of the people, the size of the people, the body language of the people. They may create so many things. That's why when there is a equality, justice, respect, human fraternity, then we can live very happily in the world. We can live very happily means giving respect for other people. That is the most important thing in the world. So here in the world, we have a kingdoms, monarchs, socialistic countries, and the dictatorships, all types of people. But we need great awareness to do all types of good things in the world. Otherwise, we may not live very happily in the world. So here, the capitalistic economy is creating so much of problems. So here, the Hugo Chavez telling, in the world, relating with the nature, we have water resource, air resources, and the ground level resources relating with the minerals, all types of chemicals and everything in the underground of the earth. But at present, the human race or human beings are not aware of the rights of the future generation, the rights of the present generation, and they are not bothering about the equal utilization of resources for their psychological and biological needs. So some country people are using the natural resources just like oil, petrol, other materials with extraordinary manner. They are not thinking about the rights of the future generation. They are thinking the earth is a universe, so earth is a limited. It has a limited resources. Here the resources meant for not only human beings, it for birds, animals, trees, non-living things, and all types of creatures. But a human being violating the rights of the small living beings, creatures of the nature in the world. He is underestimating the lives are prevailing in the nature. They are destroying. So here in the nature, human being is one of the creatures. He has a limited rights, but because of his physical strength and egoistic outlook and the mental power, he is telling that I'm the supreme in the world. I'm dominating. You have to follow. He's killing. He's creating destruction in the nature. He using more resources. He is not keeping any oil or material or any natural resources for future generations. With the extraordinary manner, he is creating air pollution, water pollution, sound pollution, ecological imbalance, ozone layer depletion, greenhouse effect, global warming, all types of destructive things he is providing. He is not thinking about his life, his future generations. Because of that, in the recent times, in the West, in the European countries, they have seen unprecedented famine, no water, no agriculture, no water for cattle, no water for drinking, no water for basic needs. Last so many years, they have enjoyed the natural resources without expecting anything. So here, the Hugo Chavez, African philosopher, is telling man is so egoistic. He is violating the rights of the other living creatures. At the same time, he is creating violations, the rights of the other people in the world. The entire world meant for all creatures. We have to respect. Here we need justice. So here we need great harmony. Otherwise, there is a destruction, there is a unhappiness in the world. Otherwise, there is a problem for our human existence. So here, mutual respect is the most important. So here in the nature, all animals, birds, trees, and they are also brothers and sisters of our human beings. So the entire world is not for only the human beings. So all creatures have a great respect. That's why we have to follow very carefully about the resources. That's why he's telling you have to follow good social system based on respect. If you give respect, you may get more respect. That's why he's telling the policymakers of the world, the politicians of the world, the leaders of the world need great transformation in their minds. If they follow awareness relating with changes in their mind and the changes in the external world. So here, if they avoid racism, imperialism, negativism, domination, we may get more happiness in the world. For that, he said, contentment is the most important. If you live with the small things, if you contented what you have, then you may live very peacefully. If you are very greedy, ambitious, overthinking person, you may try for usage of more resources in the world. At present, human beings are not living with a simple level. They want to live with the highest level because they are not thinking about the consequences of their lifestyle in the nature. So we find the overpopulation. Because of overpopulation, we are getting more unemployment, malnutrition, lack of space, lack of houses. Because of overpopulation, for the sake of their biological survival, they are destroying the forests, they are killing the trees to create more space. They want food in the sea, that's why they are spoiling the ocean. They are killing the animals, that's why control of population in the world, that is also most important. If you want to create something good for human beings, we have to produce. Otherwise, we have to control. If you produce more human beings, the human beings may be a burden for the society. The capitalistic people are seeing the overpopulation as a gift So they are not giving more secure jobs, regular jobs. They are giving only temporary jobs, hire and fire jobs, use and throw jobs. They are not thinking about the lives of the people. So that's why the individual transformation is the most important to solve many problems. Here we have to control population, we have to control our usage of nature resources. At the same time, we have to think about our desires and greeds. If you change with a psychological sense, with a great intuition, then we may do right things in the society. If you do right things in the society, you may create a right environment in the society. So here, right environment is the source for peace and happiness. That's why, so one sense, individuals should have education, philosophy, good food, good nutrition and everything. If you want to change in the institutions, societies, organization in the external world, we have to create change in the minds of the people. The individual transformation is the source for the global transformation. If you are in a peaceful level in the individual sense, you may create peace in the external world. So here peace comes from the individual mind. That's why change your mind. Aware of your thought process is the most important to change your mind. So have a discipline, right behavior, have content with what you have, live very carefully, respect nature, respect rights of the other human beings, have a harmonious relationship in the society, then you will live very pleasantly in the world. I concluded this speech, Amresh sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. Now I am requesting the participant to interact with Professor Chennai, sir. Over to the participants. Emma Madam and Srinivasal Reddy, Pavanji, Deepalata Gupta Madam, and
Yes, sir. Sir, very well explained, sir. Today's topic is the very most important for everybody's life, sir.
Welcome, Hema. Say something.
Yes, sir. The most important, how we should take care of all the sources, the resources that are available. You have explained very well, sir. Because these are the future assets, sir. Not what we give to, like in the form of lands or properties or money are the important things, what we give to the next generation. These are the resources what we give or the properties what we give to the next generation. Thank you so much
Yes,
for
yes.
entertaining us with this.
So you have shared nice things because in the here world, the Tantra philosophy or the philosophy of a nature set relating with and man woman, the man is a 60% woman and the 40% woman. The woman is a 60% woman and a 40% man. So the men and women are inseparable people. They are two wheels of a same one vehicle. So this woman and man should be very harmonious in this society. That's why here the African philosopher Hugo Chavez also said, equal respect for men and women are most important. Respect equally. They are equal persons in the nature. If you violate, then you may face so many problems. At the same time, so here he is telling we have a developed countries and developing countries and underdeveloped countries, all of super development, various types of countries. In some countries, they have high level of standard of living, economy, resources and everything. In some countries, they won't have any food, shelter, clothing and basic needs because the human race is violating the rights of the other human being. That's why protecting the rights of the men and women, children, youth, age, underdeveloped without having any race means without having any racism. What do you mean by racism here? Don't risk discrimination. The black or white or woman or a man or a child or youth or developed or underdeveloped, no division, equality, tolerance, respect. This type of things, if you follow in the world, we may protect the nature, we may live in the harmonious manner in the society. If you live in the harmonious manner in the society, we may live very pleasantly. Thank you, Hema Garu, for sharing something.
Yes, sir. But I do not agree with what you said, sir, because still there is a lot of gender discrimination. Women are not given a right place in the society till now, sir. Still, we are facing a lot of difficulties, sir. Women are not given proper protection. Proper care is not taken. They say that both are equal, but still we don't have. We have only a single prime minister. We have now we have the second president. So many politicians are there, but we don't have women in such a good or a higher positions, sir, at all. Still, there is a lot of discrimination, sir.
So here,
Sir.
you are telling true and the facts, but here, according to the African philosopher Hugo Chavez also, it is a fact relating with one particular country and one geographical area,
Yes,
but
sir.
here the concern is relating with the entire world. So by nature, men and women are same.
Yes, sir.
So by nature, not by human beings,
Yes, sir.
not by law, not by behavior, not by treatment. So human beings' minds are not pure. They have no love, they have no understanding, they have no respect and justice. So if you give disrespect to the woman may give disrespect to you. So here the means and ends are same. If you want to live in the world with a pleasant manner, you have to spread love in the world. If you spread love in the world, you may get love from return. So if you respect women, women may give more respect to you. That's why if you miss the quality of giving respect for not only women or a nature or a birds or a trees or anything, you may get more catastrophic outlook. At present, we are ill-treating the water, air, sound, the sky, the moon. So we are polluting everything. In return, we are getting global warming. We are getting feminines. We are getting various types of cyclones. So here, action, reaction. If you treat nicely with the nature, with the human beings or a woman or a children, you may get. So here, harmony and love are most important as a mature person to treat well in the world. If you treat very nicely in the world, you may get harmony, respect in the world. For that, we need maturity, wisdom, understanding. If you have more wisdom, we may live here in the world pleasantly. If you have an immaturity or a bad intention, automatically now or in the future we may get bad consequences. So if you avoid the ill treatment relating with the rights of the women, we may get to consequences. So here, giving equality, respect for every creature without any discrimination, that is a natural law for protection of human life, pleasant manner.
Yes,
Hema
sir.
Garu, say something.
Yes, sir. That is true, sir. What you said is
Thank you.
100% true, sir.
Thank you. Amresh sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Any other? Yes. Please, sir. Srinivasal Reddy-na, Pawan Kumar ji.
Venkatrao Garu is available. Venkatrao Garu is available in the line.
Sir, Venkatrao sir.
Okay,
No, sir.
line man.
Yeah, Venkatrao sir is available, sir. Venkatrao sir. Sir.
Sir, good evening, sir.
Good evening. Welcome, Venkatrao Garu, Professor.
Good evening, all of you, sir.
Very listen
very
to
nice
you.
presentation. Very right presentation. The madam asking about the equality, gender equality. Very nice.
Yes.
You said, sir.
Yes.
Thank you very much, sir. This is a nice discussion. Basically, human being understanding life and life after death. How to live in this earth.
Yes.
And what facilities nature will provide to us. How to protect it is the first basic question. This life is depending upon our lifestyle. When we protect the nature will protect us. Nature provides everything to us for living. At the same time,
Yes.
life after death, no one is here constant. Only some period of time we are living here, and then there is another we don't know about at least what life after death. Death is inevitable to everyone. So, in this regard, human beings are need to understand and protect the uh, nature first, and then
Yes.
next gender equality regarding.
Yes.
We don't say anything. There will be equality is there in nature, but the human being are disturbed some with some activities. Basically, our life is by learning, by doing. Without learning, no one can do anything. Everyone what doing?
Yes.
Suppose in our Indian style of life, Indian style of living, the male domination is innate in the religious and other influences are there in an individual. So in this regard, naturally, male may be acted as in a dominated man.
Yes. 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 Yes.
Need to understand why the differences in between the men and women. So this is what my
Yes.
understanding about this your discussion. Thank you very much for giving this opportunity. Thank you.
Yes, thank you. I'm very happy. So here in this connection, I tell, so the great philosophers, great people are telling, so relating with the love, when there is a love between a man and woman, if they have a pure love, means love coming from the soul, not love coming from the mind or desire, ambition or attachment or ownership or anything. If the love comes from the fragrance of a soul, if that type of love is there between men and women, if they have love, here we have two bodies, women and men. But if they have love, psychologically they are one. But the bodies are different too. Bodies are two physically, psychologically they are one. So here in the true love, in the deep love, in the deep silence love, so human being becomes one. So here in our culture, we are not watching our minds, we are not cleaning our minds, we are ambitious. So in the world, in the universe, we have an interconnection, everything is connected, we are not an isolated being. So here also relating with the man, woman, we have they have
Sir, I think you have some network issue. Sir, you are not audible, sir.
love. If they respect, if they follow the balance relating with rights and behavior, so if women and men are there, if they follow the balance rules, means the men should not not interfere cycle of the people. So that type of culture we need to avoid various types of violations in the world. Amreswar. So I have said something about relating with Professor Venkatrao Gar's questions.
Actually, because of your
Amreswar.
network issue, we are unable to listen. Please, you can repeat, sir.
Amreswar, now are you listening?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Now it is audible, sir. Please, sir.
Are you listening?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So here we have relations with men and women. If we have a love and affection, then we may live with a harmonious manner. Harmony is the most important thing in the society. Otherwise, there is a problem. So harmonious understanding is the most important thing in the society. Okay, Amresh sir, you call some people, ask some question, then I will tell.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Sir, Bhupesh Debarma, sir, Sushila madam, Deeplata Gupta madam. After long time, Srilata Kishori madam. Anyone, please. We have sufficient time.
Srinivas Reddy garu is available in the Amresh sir in the line.
Yes, sir. Line available, but not responding, sir.
Okay.
Anyone?
Maybe it
Bhupesh
is
Debarma,
raining
sir.
heavily, sir. So he's not able. It is raining heavily here, sir.
Tell me, Hema garu, share something.
Maybe it is raining, so they are not able to connect, I think, sir. It is raining heavily today.
Okay.
Bhupesh Debarma, sir. Sheila madam.
So here Amresh sir.
Sir. It is
Are
audible,
you listening,
sir.
Amresh sir?
Yes, sir. It is audible, sir.
Audible.
Please.
So actually,
Please, sir. Continue, sir.
in the world we have you ask some questions, Amresh sir. Say something, then I will tell.
Okay, sir. Sir, just related to Madam Hema Madam question, women empowerment. Actually, the government of India at national level and the international organizations are doing. Even the literacy rate is also more. One way they are entering into entertainment, maybe film industry as a modeling, so many things, but still discrimination. What are the reasons for this type of discrimination, sir? Because woman is a mother of someone, wife of someone, sister of someone, daughter-in-law of someone. Still,
So here I will tell because we are representing humanity and representing the world, all countries, all humanity. But here our concern is a man and woman, not a particular man or not particular woman. Because if all women are there, we have nearly 800 crores of 750 crores of population in the world. For example, if we have 350 crores of women, no men, there is no flowering of humanity. If we have a 350 crores of man, no women, there is no production of humanity. So here men and women are both are responsible. So here for the protection of the rights of the men and women, they both are responsible. We have to develop more education, more awareness. We have to treat men and women equally. We have to provide resources, opportunities with a great extent for men and women equally. Sometimes women may do some activities excellent manner. In some fields, men may operate excellently. They may do in their fields excellent manner. We have to provide natural and interesting opportunities for providing of women's growth. For we need integrated outlook, respect of the humanity. We have to treat entire humanity as one. The women and men are both important. We have to protect the rights of the men and women with an equal manner. Divine feeling and the men and women are most important. So if you protect, if you enjoy for producing or protecting, for giving more rights and welfare programs for men and women equal manner, will, because if you see in the human body, we have a left hand and right hand. If the left hand is very beautiful and very powerful and handsome, it has a color and everything. The left hand is in a different color. So we don't find any beauty. We don't find any symmetry. We don't find good shape. In the same manner, in the society, the woman should be equal, with very beautiful. So a woman without having any rights and welfare, if the society is there, that is a handicapped society. If women are in the powerful sense and the man is not in a position to live properly without having any right, that is not a good. So here, protecting the men and women with an equal manner, because these two people, two wheels are essential to live harmonious manner, because the human life is a social life. We are not isolated beings. We have a various types of needs: love, sex, belongingness, self-esteem, mutual understanding. We have to fulfill various types of needs on the mutual cooperation of men and women. That's why giving importance for the rights of people and giving more budget funds, more opportunities, more reservations equally men and women for equalization of opportunities, we may create a different environment in the world, Amresh sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. Any other?
Sir, can I ask you
Hello.
something? Which is
Yeah, please, ma'am. We have another 10 minutes. You can proceed.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Today, I received a complaint. Sir, please guide me regarding this. What is my course of action in this matter, sir? I got a
Yes.
complaint because it is related to human rights, sir.
Yes. Yes.
The wife is running an NGO. She runs an NGO.
Yes. Yes.
She got a very good name regarding this. She does all society, helps the people in the.
Yes. 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 Listening, share.
Solicitation. She went, but
Yes.
the husband did not open the doors of the house. He stayed at home inside. That was around 10 o'clock when that lady went home. That person, the husband, he did not open the doors for her to enter into the house. And the lady stayed there under the staircase the whole night. She asked, that means going to a local program, she won't carry a lot of money. So she couldn't do anything. So she, in the morning, next day morning, she asked some of her friends, she collected some little money. And then she went to her parents' house at Hyderabad.
Yes.
So the man could not tolerate the lady's greatness, why she's being so felicitated, she's getting such a good name. So he didn't open at 10 o'clock at night. The single lady had to stay the whole night outside the house. Such a pathetic condition. Look at the mentality of the, not all, but so sad. I felt very bad after hearing this. I received a complaint regarding this. This is the manner how he ill-treats a lady, how he is harassing this lady. She put a complaint to me, sir. What course of action can I take, sir?
So actually, I will tell here, So these examples relating with men also there. So women also in the inside and they are also opening. That type of cases are there. The women also, the men also treating a woman. This type of case because here this is a action of jealousy, envious. So here, so they have no love. They have a envious feeling. They have a jealousy feeling. What do you mean by jealousy? Unhappiness and others' happiness. So he may have some suspicion, doubt mind, or he may have no love, and he may suspect the greatness of the woman. So here, this is called a psychological poisonous things. When there is a hatred, what do you mean by hatred? Disliking. What do you mean by jealousy? Unhappiness and others' happiness. So what do you mean by anger? Ferocious feeling. So when there is a anger, when there is a hatred, when there is a jealousy, we may do harmful things. That's why in the human life, the man is facing this type of problem, the woman is facing this type of problem. To avoid this type of problem, they need purity of the mind. They have to practice meditation. At the same time, they have to understand. So if the man respects the welfare or greatness of the woman, automatically after some time, the woman also give more respect to the man. That's why give appreciation to other person. If you won't expect any appreciation naturally, so this type of relation is not available. Lack of maturity, lack of purity in the mind, these things are happening. But there are legal procedures on the basis of constitutional laws, and they may enter on the basis of laws. But psychologically, if they have purity in the mind, they may not do like this. This is a mental immaturity. This is a bad behavior. This is a ill treatment. This is a violation of other person right. This is there psychologically. But Hemagari, you may enter as per law, as per so here domestic law is there, domestic violence the laws are there, women protections are there. Many these acts are there. Many acts are there. They may enter. So these are there in the legal sense. But if they want to live psychologically, they may enter with the love and meditation, adjustment, purity. These are two angles we find in the society, Hemagaru.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Maybe, but how jealous is he? Because being a wife, he should feel very happy, but he did not feel happy, sir. Moreover,
Yes,
he started punishing her. Yes, sir.
If you observe in the human race, we find 5 lakhs women jealousy on men, and 5 lakhs or 5 crores of men have jealousy on women, or 5 crores of women and jealousy on men. So I am telling one example. These things are there in the parallel manner, but we won't expect, we don't appreciate this thing. We need purity. We have to appreciate the beauty and the greatness of the woman, because woman is the mother, woman is the energy. If you give more importance, say women play a divine role in the human society, this is there. This is useful for only mature people, but we don't find more mature people in the society, in men and women. That's why they are continuing the psychological poisons like jealousy and hatred. So if any person follows, recently I heard that the psychological, the biological research finding that when a person who is facing hatred, jealousy and hatred, jealousy and fear, if any person continues jealousy, fear, hatred, automatically after sometimes they may get problems, eyes, ears, heart and stomach. So they may get more psychological effects on the body. That's why we have to create an environment to purify jealousy, hatred and fear. If you create an environment free from these psychological poisons, we may give a more lovely environment in the society. We may live very pleasantly. I shared something in this connection,
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I just wanted to know that only, sir, because legal aspect and all I can take care, but where I should try to mold them, I just wanted a little bit clarification. Thank you so much, sir.
This is the approach.
Yeah,
This is the approach.
Thank you. Thank you.
So actually, sense is jealousy. What is the meaning of jealousy? Unhappiness and others' happiness. If the other person is happy, I may feel unhappy. This is the quality of jealousy. Because of this quality, many bad things are occurring in the lives of human beings.
Yes, sir.
That's
This
why
is cruelty, sir. Not jealousy. It is cruelty, sir.
Yes, it is a cruelty. So that's why we have to do 2 baths every day. 1 bath for soap water with the body for health. At the same time, mind bath. What do you mean by mind bath? If you observe our total experiences, memories, everything with the silent mind, with the closing eyes, that watching creates purity in the mind. If you purify your mind, you don't find jealousy, hatred, and fear. So we have no culture at present in the world to purify every day, to take mind bath every day. That's why they are killing, they are murdering, they are not happy. So we have to recommend for mind bath or mind purification every day. So after completion of day, before sleep, one has to do some watching relating with day affairs. Then we may purify our mind, we may live pleasantly, we may get pleasant sleep. After next day, we may start our life very pleasant manner. So mind purification is a most important thing to avoid these types of things. Hemagaru. Amre sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Sir,
Welcome.
very nicely,
Welcome.
sir. Any other, please?
Sir, once again, I think.
Venkatrao garu, welcome. Share something.
Yes, sir.
Please, sir. Please, sir.
Please.
What it is among the standard of the nation, nothing but there is a lot beginning from the learning process. So, adding to reproductive and the taking care about these beings in
Yes.
Home. So, in this regard, the women accepting the last 20,000 years, the people, the genetically and the biologically, the changes will be the. Otherwise, the men and women are the equally force, equally energetic, doing everything. According to the, what Aggi was to the world, here the no need women is going outside and doing all these things because she's already doing some work and the cooking and all these things in the home also. Why and the additional work is doing the many officer any other only single duty as doing by men. By at the same time, and the modern women are doing the double job. At the same principle is applicable to the men also. The men also doing the same duties undertaking by the what the single duty is the essential nowadays because our discussion is almost all for the happy living. For the happy living, a man concise their life. The universe is very big. The universe is very big. According to our philosophical approach to life, life is we know that everyone is there is an edge is there. Before that reaching the edge, every individual plan to get a lot of happiness from the existing in the nature. So that is that major understanding is needed to everyone. Otherwise, there is so many people are there with a suffering with an illness, suffering with a mental problem, suffering with some learning problems and all these things. So in this regard, everyone is planned to get happiness in their surroundings, in their existing, in their country. So we need to consider the holistic, not an individual or a specific cases. What madam writing some specific cases, that specific cases are everywhere. But we need to consider the holistic approach. Thank you, sir.
Very good, very good. because the universe is unlimited. We have various types of things. For humanity point of view, understanding of mind is the most important, purification of mind. And here we have one latest psychological school called positive psychology. So in America, they started one subject called positive psychology. They said they have introduced two aspects. One is a pleasant life and another is a good life. So they said pleasant life is a good feelings and good thoughts. So here good life is a doing good activities with a joyful manner. If you follow the pleasant life principles and the good life principles, having good thoughts and good emotions, doing our work with a lovable manner, we may avoid this type of problems. Thank you, Venkatrao garu, for sharing something. Amresh sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Welcome.
Any
Welcome.
other?
Yeah, hello. Good evening, sir.
Sir, please.
Please welcome. Your name, please.
I'm Dr. Deeplata Gupta.
Welcome. Please share.
Yeah.
Please
sir,
ask a question or say something.
as you said about gender sensitivity or biasness, so I want to know what are academic measures in the schools and colleges regarding these gender biasness and gender sensitiveness, because these things are already we have communicated to our students, but still in society we see there these discriminations will be, I think, increased, not decreased at any level. So what should be the applicatory level?
What are
should
you?
be
What are you doing?
taken actions? Sir, I'm
you are
assistant
what?
in education department. I'm
Where?
in teacher education
Where?
in Lucknow.
Okay,
In
wonderful.
Lucknow.
Very wonderful. I visited many years back. So Lucknow, beautiful place. Butter Palace. I stayed 4 days. So very enjoyable place. Very nice to listen person from Lucknow. So I hear very good because you asked a very nice question. So here,
Yes.
first of all, in the government policies, in the teacher education, we have to give proper education for teacher educators and teacher trainees. Those who are doing in the second grade teacher or the school assistant in the school level, in the high school level, in the level, they have to said about the gender, women and men. So in the nature, their equal percentage. Some philosophical systems are telling. So especially Tantra system is telling. So woman is a 60% woman and the 40% woman. So here the ingredients, the biological aspects in the woman, 40% of the men content are there in the woman. In the men, 60% of the men and 40% of women ingredients contents are there in the men. That's why they are both. We have to tell these women and men are both are equal. So these women and men are vehicles for future population, future humanity protection. So these two people are essential for good social living. So love between men and women are most important. If they have angry, jealousy, hatred, sadness, quarreling, then their life will not be pleasant. That's why contentment living with what they have, not expecting more, talking very pleasantly, respecting mutual rights. So they have to think, the men and women have to think that men is a divine, woman is a divine. These are very beautiful people in the nature. Giving violations for women's rights or the men rights are not good. So in the both level, here you see, I have given one example already. So we have two hands, right hand and left hand. If we have a proper healthy right hand and we have no proper right left hand, it is a handicapped, then we don't find beauty in the body. In the same manner in the world, so men and women should be beautiful, very lovely, very happy, very joyful. They have to live just like a two conditioned wheels for a two-wheeler. These are two important people. We have to more respect for a human life. So if you follow this type of things, we may avoid a gender bias in the future, Gupta ji.
Yes, sir.
So have you heard, Gupta ji, something?
Yes, yes, sir.
So thank you for sharing.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much.
Welcome. Amresh sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you very much.
Yes.
I think Sushila madam, are you there? Okay, sir. Then with your permission,
Okay.
may we go for presentation, sir?
Okay, please move, Amresh sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. Good evening. Thank you, sir. Wonderful keynote address and the discussion on the special occasion of Dasara. We are 10 days. We are every day. This is the third day. We are praising and praying Lord Goddess Durga and in many forms. So one way we are praying and praising, and another way maybe whatever the participants they exposed the discrimination against women, but it is discrimination of self-discrimination. Professor Chennai sir rightly mentioned, women is a 60% women, 40% men. In the same way, vice versa for men also. It is better. Professor Venkateswara sir in the text already posted. People are not in a position to understand the value of a family and life. That's why they don't know how to live together peacefully. So, right. The quantitative research, pre-experimental research design, how the outline of the presentation, learning outcome, pre-experimental research design and conclusion, explore pre-experimental research design in quantitative research. Before going to normal, as usual, we are going to watch two videos of Lord Buddha. Again, why I'm taking Lord Buddha, really wonderful. At present, we need inner peace and peaceful mind. During keynote address, Professor Chennai sir rightly mentioned the developed countries, many countries are spending thousands and lakhs of crores of rupees on nuclear weapons and other weapons. So this is not good. It is better to win the heart of the people or citizens of around the globe of India or around the globe. Then only we can create a peaceful world. But with gun or nuclear weapons or other type of weapons, it is impossible. Just a temporary solution only. Naxalism is the best example in India, how it is possible to eliminate or solve the problem instead of removing the people or killing the people in the forest. The people, those who want to fight for the people, it is also better to come forward and live within the society and fight for them instead of living maybe a Chhattisgarh or in Andhra Pradesh, Nallamala and other forest areas. Actually, the approach, maybe their thought process are excellent, but the way approach they are doing that is wrong. The same way here, if you want extraordinary this video going to mention the real inner peace. On the occasion of International Non-Violence Day, 2nd October, we are going to organize a doctoral research conference. In that, Professor Chennai sir already I requested today to deliver on the same topic. Then you must watch this, how you can improve your inner peace.
Once upon a time, there was a king. Once the king announced in his kingdom that whosoever will make the world's most peaceful painting, he will be given reward as per his wish. But that painting should be the most peaceful painting of the world. After seeing which, the mind becomes completely calm and peaceful. The announcement was made and date of competition was fixed. On a certain day, all the painters gathered in the palace. All the painters started making paintings. By evening, all the painters had completed their paintings. Now, it was the time to choose the best painting, which is the most calm and peaceful painting. The king started watching and analyzing all the paintings one by one. All the paintings were extremely beautiful. It was difficult for him to choose one painting. Eventually, the king chose two paintings, which he found to be the best. Both those paintings were kept in a palace so that all the people can see it. Both paintings were extremely good. People from far away came to see both the paintings. They were eagerly waiting for the king's decision. The first painting was very much liked by all the people. That painting was very beautiful. In that picture, there was a water lake. The water of the lake was so clear that even the small stones below it were easily visible. There were beautiful white snow-covered mountains in the painting, whose shadow was seen in the lake. There were beautiful white clouds in the sky. It was evening time and birds were flying. Nature was at its peak. Seeing that painting, anyone could say that this painting would get the first prize. But the second painting was a little scary. It was a picture of a stormy night. There were black clouds and lightning in the sky. Strong winds were blowing. The waterfall from the mountain was falling at a very fast speed, and it seemed that as if the flood was about to come. Due to strong wind, trees were swinging. It seemed that everything is going to be destroyed. It was really a very destructive scene. People could not understand why this second painting was shortlisted. There was no match between the first and the second painting. Everyone felt that the first painting is surely going to win. But when the king announced the result, everyone was stunned. The king announced the second painting as a winner and declared it the most peaceful painting in the world. All the people were surprised to hear the king's decision, but no one had the courage to ask the question to the king. But the artist who made the first painting dared and asked the king. He said, "My lord, please excuse me, but can I know what is the special in the second painting that you have chosen it as the winner? There is all over destruction in this picture. What is beautiful in it?" The king smiled and said, "My dear friend, perhaps you have not seen this painting carefully. Had you seen it carefully, then you would have noticed that there are trees whose branches are swinging due to strong wind near that waterfall. And one of these trees has a small nest on one of its branch, in which a bird is sitting with her young children. They are sitting very peacefully, and the mother bird is feeding her children. There is a storm everywhere. It is raining heavily. There is lightning in the sky. There is havoc everywhere. And in such a situation, a bird and her children are sitting peacefully in their nest. And there cannot be any better depiction of inner peace than this painting. If we see in our lives, we will find that most of the people think that peace is in conditions, places, or circumstances. But in fact, peace is not somewhere outside, but it is within yourself. If your mind is not calm, it is filled with worries, then wherever you will go, you will feel disturbed. Because inner peace is not found by attempting to escape from life, but found by facing life and solving its problems. If you cannot find peace within yourself, you will never find it anywhere else. Therefore, find your inner peace within yourself, and once you find it, allow your inner peace to rest within you.
Right. Very nice video. This one, I'm going to explain why I selected this video when I was going through further slides. We have different three types of three experimental research designs. You will stop worrying here about tomorrow. Present is very, very important. Don't bother about the past.
Once upon a time, in a village, lived a merchant who used to work very hard. He wanted to earn a lot of money so that he and his children would never be short of food. One day, he called his accountant and said, "Find out how much money I have and for how long will it be enough for me and my family." After a few days, accountant came with a calculation and said to merchant, "Sir, according to your expenditure done in the present, if it stays same and even if there is no income from today on, even then your next two generations can eat." Merchant was shocked. He said, "What? Then what will happen to my third or fourth generation? From where will they get food?" And from that day onward, merchant started thinking about them and started worrying too much about his third and fourth generation. Due to worry, slowly and slowly, he started getting sick. It took many treatments, but still there was no relief. One day, a friend of merchant came to see him and saw that he was not well and seemed very much worried. So friend asked him reason for his worry. Merchant said, "Even after earning so much, yet there is nothing for third or fourth generation. And I am always worried about how they will feed themselves." His friend understood his problem and said, "A monk has come to our town and he will stay here for a few days. He is very wise, and if you bring him food in the morning, then your problem will be solved." The very next day, merchant reached monk's place with the food. Monk welcomed him with respect and called his disciple saying that, "Merchant has brought food for us." Disciple replied, "But master, for today, someone has already given us food." Listening to this, monk said to the merchant, "Sorry, my friend, but someone has already given us food for today, so we cannot accept your food. Our rule is to accept only one meal a day, which is given early in the morning. We accept it and can't take any more. I apologize." Merchant said, "Oh, then you keep it for tomorrow. Then you will not have to worry about tomorrow's meal. And also, I can bring fresh food for you tomorrow." Monk said, "No, my friend, we do not worry about tomorrow in our present. When tomorrow comes, then tomorrow's food will also be arranged." Merchant was surprised to hear the monk's word. He asked in surprise, "Sir, don't you worry about tomorrow's meal?" What will you do if you don't get food tomorrow? Monk smiled and said, My friend, the God who has given us food today will give us food tomorrow also. And who has seen tomorrow? Who knows whether tomorrow will come or not? We only live in the present and don't worry about tomorrow. Hearing this, merchant bowed down to the monk and left for his home. Throughout the way, he kept thinking about what monk said, and he was thinking that the monk has no food for tomorrow, and still he is not worrying about tomorrow. And here I am, worrying about my third and fourth generation. Merchant understood that we should not make our today unhappy by worrying about tomorrow. He left all his worries and started living happily. If we see in our lives, we will find that often we worry so much about our future that we make our today miserable. We always worry about how our future will be. What will be our financial condition in the future? Shall we be able to fulfill our responsibilities or not? What will happen to our children? What will be the future of our children? And worrying about the future, we forget that every moment we spend worrying about tomorrow is a moment we lose from enjoying today. Just look at the sparrows. They do not know what they will do in the next moment, what they will get to eat in the next moment, and still they manage to live a happy life. Let us literally live from moment to moment. If you want to live a happy life, then always believe that your tomorrow is going to be very bright and prosperous. Therefore, stop worrying about tomorrow, because worrying does not take away tomorrow's troubles, but it takes away today's peace.
Right. But in general, we are always doing the same thing while thinking about future, especially the economy and commerce and many other disciplines also. They have their own way of approach, and some economies, they suggested that it is your duty to keep 6 months of your salary for peaceful living. Those things are also important. At the same time, present, the past is beyond recovery. We are not sure of the future. The given moment is the right time. Do right action without further delay. Right. The quantitative research, now we are under experimental research and a pre-experimental research method or research design. What is a experimental research here? Very nicely, an experimental research study here is one in which the researcher manipulates the situation and measure the outcome of his manipulation. Suppose I want to study the participants' achievement or happiness or knowledge level or attitude before attending our program, or simply without. There are three types of things, but I can explain within given time. So suppose I want to only now, I don't want to about the past, only present. So what is the effect? But after attending the program, what is the effect? Simply I can measure. So another thing I can measure before attending and after attending the same group. This type of things. And one more, I have two groups. One, those who are attending the program, those who are not attending, those who are attending before and after the program. Another group, no need to give any of treatment. So here there are three things. The experimental study consider control over the environment. This control over the research process allows, we can do one by one. Simply I can show you before going to further slide. Very nicely explained here. The classical experimental study has three characteristics here: manipulation, control, and randomization. What is here? Individuals in an experimental study are randomly, whenever you are doing any research, it is always randomly selected as more reliable, valid, and we can generalize also at population while selecting randomized sampling technique. Or here in the true experimental research or pre-experimental research design, the random or manipulation or stimulus in other way. In a true experimental study, the experimenter can measure the values of dependent variable both before administering the stimulus and after administering. Here, stimulus is our program. Best example. So before attending the program and after attending the program, before discussing with Professor Chinnai sir, why many of our participants regularly again and again coming and listening the same people, because whenever they attend the program and after listening Professor Chinnai sir, these things are not available in the books in a simple way. The philosophers and psychologists are not easily understandable for all, but sir has provided all information very simplest way. That's why they may be relaxed, they may be relieved, some type of mental peace or inner peace. This is the reason behind for attending the program again and again. So what is the difference? This course give a rough indication of effect of the. So what is that type of reliefness or awareness or enhancement of your knowledge or skill or the stimulus because of the program? Here the group which tests, stimulates or manipulates is administered is called experimental group, and the group that those who are not attending this group, we can take it as a control group. Those who are attending this group or this program, we can take it as an experimental group. Best example to understand. Those who are not attended, what is, you can understand their level or awareness at present and what is your. Further here, by randomization, we mean that the researcher takes care to assign subject to control and experimental groups randomly. What they will do, sometimes the control experimental group may be treated as a control group and control group may be treated as an experimental group. All the groups, both the groups have equal chance to undergo the stimulus. Each subject is given equal chance. So why there is a need always randomization means no bias. Whenever I am presenting here or yesterday again, I took class for Savitribai Phule Pune University HRDC. So whenever I request the participant, there are 30 participants around India, teachers at the entry level. So I never ask by seeing the name or candidate face, you just share. I simply give opportunity for anyone, those who want to share, they can share. Equalization or here equal opportunity for all. Here, researcher takes care to assign subject. Each subject given equal chance. That is the so the goal of all selection procedure for experimental control is to make the group as similar as possible in terms of the dependent variable. Here, I can make what is the dependent. Suppose what is the level of your awareness. This may be a dependent variable. Your gender, your locality, your religion, or your number of experience, teaching experience, these things we can take as an independent variable. Sometimes not only these things, even your heredity, environment, and achievement may be taken as a dependent or independent based on your research questions and objectives. While discussing about this dependent and independent variable, there is a I discussed very thoroughly with my scholar Ruby Tamal. Actually, I asked her to treat achievement score as achievement of the student as an independent variable instead of dependent variable, because here what is the achievement and the digital capabilities we are, but the expert they suggest no, it is not independent, it is dependent. Now we are not studying the achievement, we are going to study the digital capabilities. When based on your aim or objective or research questions, you can make it as a, so that's why dependent variable also sometimes you can make it independent, and independent also can become dependent based on your research. So this is we every researcher they need the clarification. So these are all pre-experimental, true experimental, quasi-experimental, but we are going to pre-experimental research design. Within this pre-experimental research design, actually on 20 minutes video is available. I will take just for 5 minutes of this slide, then I can show you video very nicely, you can understand. So these are all the three research design for pre-experimental research. One short case study, one group. This is the only one group, not a two group, control group and experimental group, only experimental group, and pre-test and post-test, before and after, the same group. Before using ICT integrated or any other things we can use, and a static group. Here we can both experimental group and control group. So the pre-experimental research design, a group or various groups are kept under observation after implementing factor of cause and effect. So here you will conduct this research to understand whether further investigation is necessary for these particular groups. Why I asked ma'am Sushila, madam, doctor. So in general, what they'll do, they will take some injections or tablets. What they do, they simply, before giving the tablet, what is their pulse rate, what is the heartbeat and BP, everything they can understand very nicely, even sugar level. So after giving the tablet or injection, they can measure. So is there any impact of the stimulus here, the tablet? That's why whenever you are going to make a diabetic test, they ask, don't eat, you come without eating. After taking blood test, again they will ask you, go and take a food, full stomach food, then I will come back. Then they can measure how much, maybe you are based on your food, how much sugar levels are maybe high or low, whatever. Maybe almost whenever you are taking some, consuming something, you can, level is more only. You can break down this one shot, one group and static group. Here within the experimental research design, we're supposed to remember few symbols, and O here a former observation or measurement, and X here experimental treatment. EG here experimental group, CG means control group, and R random assignment of test unit to be to the EG and experimental group and control group. M here assignment to a easier CG or balanced to assure that the EG and means experimental group and control group are roughly here equal. So there in general, there is no need of 100% roughly, but certain things we are not under your control. Suppose you want to some maybe a independent variable, gender, male and female sex. So it is not possible. Whatever is available within that we can. So pre-experimental research designs already here one-shot case studies. In general, these things, the management, commerce and economics and social sciences, psychology, education, they use the units of people, test market, etc. are export to treatment. Here, what is the only one? There is one shot means only one group. The standard notion for treatment is the symbol X. Here the research design, actually there is no random assignment of the test subject. There is only one treatment, that experimental group we are calling, and there is no control group. Control group never undergo any stimulus or any change, simply they keep silent. Here the standard notion for one-shot case study, but some flaws are of this research design. There is no pre-test. So we are not saying the present is only important. The first video or the second video also, what happened, whenever you are, some people are worried or what, how we need an inner peace. The second video, the merchant is always worried about the third and fourth generation, the future. Present is important. The what they are doing, they forget about the past also, and at present, what is there is no control group. A control group would in this case be a group that did not receive the treatment. Without this restraint, this research design cannot estimate here internal and external validity. So they need, sometimes there is no time, we need immediate effect. New products, maybe management, they want to know the effect. Simply they distribute to some people, they ask to use whether it is good based on their immediate experience, they can treat, okay, this is whenever is an emergency or a natural calamity, we cannot make this one. So they can go for one shot case study only. Simply they can distribute, they can use after after taking the feedback, then they can make whether how much. If you want to measure, then we need a pre-test and post-test. The second one is one group pre-test and post-test. Here there is again no control group, only experimental group, but before and after treatment. Suppose I need to test the satisfaction level of the students. What I can do, I can show one Bahubali movie. Before showing the Bahubali movie or some other movies, I can measure their satisfaction level. And after watching the movie, I can measure that. In general, whenever movie is good, you can see the people, they are coming out from the hall very happily with a smiling face. These are all because of the stimulus or treatment of the movie only. So this is also very good. That's why what I'm doing at so the NEHU, even when I was at Sri Venkateswara University also, I did the same. I offer tea and snacks for all my students, 200 students and PhD scholars, while taking class for coursework also for PhD scholars. I offer tea and snacks. The cost only per head maybe 25 to 30 rupees per head, but it maybe gives extraordinary relationship. The way they show affection, care, concern, they're ready to listen always. So simple way, this is not by expecting something. I need that type of relationship. Everything can be changed through love only, not with compulsion or fear. I never scolded entire my education life as being a teacher. So this group design, marketing researcher often use this design to test changes in the marketing plan for establish the products. So before and after, they always compared to one shot case study. This design has the advantage of taking two measurements, one before and after. So in general, the automobile industry and even mobiles also, smartphones, before using smartphone, after using smartphone, what is their, how their attitude level or knowledge level or capability or competency, you can measure very easily. After getting really up to 2014, I don't have smartphone. When I just department selected me to visit an educational tour along with students, then I thought, okay, I need a mobile to take the photos of the student for that purpose. But after getting every day, I'm doing one more course. So we have some advantages. I heard from my student only WhatsApp, even though I'm ICT, but I have never used, I don't have smartphone. So here, before using and after using, this is very, very important. And the third one is a static group design. But in this design, we have the experimental group is exposed to the treatment while the control group is not. The units, however, are not randomly assigned. Only one disadvantage of this one is randomly not assigned. Here, the standard notion for the static group. Measurement for both groups are made after the treatment is administered to experimental. So one group, what we, the treatment effect is measured O1 minus O2. Here, experimental group O1 and the control group is O2. So measurement for both groups are made after the treatment is administered to the experimental group. So weakness of this research designs of here, fact that test units are not randomly assigned to experimental or control group, and there are no pre-test measurement taken. So we are simply what we are doing, we are going and making some stimulus or control. Here the control group is keeping and we are doing some effect or stimulus or undergoing some treatment. For experimental group, we are measuring what is difference between these two only, not the same group. Here groups are different. This change is because, but when you are selecting this experimental group and control group, it is better to select almost equally. Otherwise, if it is a highly intelligent people are under control group or So we need, that's why within this, it is better to select very nicely which group is a experimental group, which group is a control group. Then the difference is, so, but in general, the pre-experimental research designs are used to get results very quickly and easily and very simple. What are the advantages and disadvantages before going to watch our videos? The advantages, it is very simple. That's why people are ready to use a convenient design that help the researcher to conduct studies in natural settings. It is most suitable for beginners. What are the disadvantages here? It is considered very weak experimental research design. That's why pre-experimental design is not suggestible to for long run, only immediately at Tatkal, just like a Tatkal ticket in railway department, and now dynamic ticket. Very nice article I read. Whenever the citizens or passengers are trying to book a ticket, when it shows maybe 3,000, when ticket when we are paying money or fee, ticket charge, automatically it may be a 4,500 or like that. So this type of things, to establish causal here relationship between independent dependent variable, because it controls no treatment to internal validity. Here validity and reliability or consistency are very important. It has a higher threat to internal validity of research. So may have selection bias, which is, that's why I told it is better whenever you are selecting, be very practical and without any bias. No, I need a good result, pre-assumed results, which is very serious threat. So don't, in general, better to avoid the pre-experimental research design until and unless if there is a situation is demanding sorry, to do this type of reason. So for you, a very nice video. Sorry.
Hi there, how is it going? See you again in English Simplified channel. Right now we are going to cover experimental research design with one of its type, that is pre-experimental research design. In my previous video, I have discussed what an experimental research is. And this moment we are discussing its types one by one. Are you ready to rock? Let's get started. What, when and why is pre-experimental research? Well, talking about pre-experimental, as the name suggests, pre-experimental research happens even before the true experiment starts. This is done to determine the researcher's intervention on a group of people. This will help them tell if the investment of cost and time for conducting a true experiment is worth a while. Pre-experimental designs are called such because they often happen before a true experiment is conducted. Often, researchers want to see if their interventions will have an effect on a small group of people before they seek funding and dedicate time to conduct a true experiment. The pre-experimental design involves an independent variable that does not vary, or the sample is not randomly selected, and there is no control group. How pre-experimental is conducted? In order to answer this question, as there are three types of pre-experimental, then we have to discuss them one by one. Well, the three types of pre-experimental are 1. One-shot case study design. 2. One-group pre-test post-test design. 3. Static group comparison. Now let's see one by one. 1. One-shot case study design. This technique is also known as after-only design. In this technique, only one test unit is assigned to treatment, and then a single measurement is taken on dependent variable. The test units are not randomly assigned to the treatments, and the test units are selected by the researcher. Simply, here are the characteristics of one-shot study design. 1. This design practices the treatment of a single group. 2. It only takes a single measurement after the experiment. And 3. A one-shot case study design only analyzes post-test results. While one-shot case study is the most basic form of experiment, it has its own limitations. It does not allow the researcher to compare the measurement with a dependent variable before the treatment. Along with this, the measurement of one shot case study can be affected by many extraneous variables, which can be controlled. This in turn affects the validity of the measurement. Therefore, this type of research is suitable for exploratory research rather than experimental research. This technique is opted only when it's the only solution to the problem. Let's see this example in order to have a better understanding. For example, a primary school teacher wants to see if a teaching method of number head together can cause her class to get average score of 8 in speaking. She tests it with only a class and sees the result. Here is the explanation of the one-shot case study design is conducted. One-shot case study design has only one group of sample, then the teacher/researcher gives treatment or teaches the class with number head together. After that, the researcher tests the student's speaking. Having tested the student's speaking, then the researcher analyzes the data to find out whether the result is as expected or not. But what if the result is as expected? Is it truly because the treatment? Let's say the average score of the students is 8. This result is questionable because there is no pre-test and control group. Now let's clarify the second type of pre-experimental, that is one group pre-test post-test design. In one group pre-test post-test design, only one group is involved which exposed to the treatment. Here, the researcher measures the subjects before and after the implementation treatment. It is the improvement over one-shot case study, as it allows researchers to compare the change in objects from before and after stages. Simply, here are the characteristics of one group pre-test post-test design. 1. Like the previous one, this design also works on just one experimental group. 2. Pre-test is addressed before the treatment. 3. After the pre-test, then treatment is applied. 4. Having applied the treatment, then the sample is post-tested. Let's understand this by an example. For example, a primary school teacher wants to see if a teaching method of number head together can cause her students to have different score in speaking before and after teaching her class with number head together. She tests it or conducts an experiment with only a class and sees the result. In conducting and finding the answer, here are the procedures. First, the researcher chooses one class as the sample without randomization, then the class is given pre-test, that is a test before giving the treatment. After that, the researcher gives treatment or teaches the sample with number head together teaching method. Having given the treatment, again, the sample is tested, namely post-test. And in order to find the result, the researcher analyzes the data and makes a conclusion. All right, now we've come up to the third type of pre-experimental, that is, static group comparison. In this technique, there are two groups upon which measurements are to be taken. The first group is experimental group, which is subjected to the treatment, and the other one is control group, which is not subjected to the treatment. Here, the measurement of experimental group is taken after being exposed to treatment, while the control group is measured without treatment. The outcome of the experiment is measured by comparing both the measurements. Here is its procedure. 1. This compares two groups. 2. One group is exposed to the treatment, while the other group is not exposed to the treatment. 3. The difference between the two groups is the result of the experiment. For example, a primary school teacher wants to see if a teaching method of number head together can cause her students to have different score in speaking before and after teaching her class with number head together. She tests it or conduct and treatment with only a class, while the other class is without treatment, and sees the result. This is how to conduct the research and find the answer. Static group comparison has two groups of sample. They are control and experimental group. Then the researcher only gives treatment to the experimental group. After the treatment, the researcher tests the samples, then the data is analyzed by comparing the means of control to experimental group or by t-test analysis. Summary and conclusion. Well, as we have discussed the three of them, here is the summary and conclusion, so that you are easier to understand and differentiate them. One-shot case study design. 1. This design practices the treatment of a single group. Or there is no control group. 2. It only takes a single measurement after the experiment. Or only post-test. 3. A one-shot case study design only analyzes post-test results, which is compared to the expected result. 1 group pre-test post-test design. 1. Like the previous one, this design also works on just one experimental group. Or no control group. 2. But this one takes 2 measures into account, in which a pre-test and a post-test are conducted. 3. The data is analyzed by comparing the difference means of pre-test from post-test. Static group comparison. 1. Conducted with 2 groups. 2. One group is exposed to the treatment. 3. The other group is not exposed to the treatment. 4. The difference between the 2 groups is the result of the experiment. Well, that's a pre-experimental design. Hopefully, our discussion has given you a better comprehension. And our next topic of discussion is quasi-experimental research design. By the way, don't forget to support this channel by your subscribe. Thanks and ta-ta.
Very nice video. Actually, the word static itself is position is stable. We have static energy and potential energy. Here, the group is stable. That's why they use the static group research design. These are all myself and Dr. Sutosini madams. Now, I think it is a time. It's very easy to understand experimental research, pre-experimental research design. Now over to Professor Chennai sir. We are on time.
Amresh sir,
Sir.
congratulations for your presentation, and you have showed very beautiful films. They are very inspiring, very good.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much, sir. We have, so we have another 2-3 minutes. We can take if you any participants, if you have any queries on this pre-experimental research design. Those who are from education, commerce. Yeah, please, sir.
Amresh sir, so tell me one important Buddha saying that you like for mental peace.
Sir, mental peace, just don't worry about future. Present is important, and be simply living and high thinking, sir. Whatever you have, be happy. Happiness is a state of mind. So for inner peace, I always taking it, even though just I'm giving one live example. My nephew is in hospital, but simply I'm taking it as a positively only. Whatever is happening in our life, it is good, and everything will be taken care of by God only. Nothing is in our hands, sir. What I understood.
Very good, Amresh sir. Very nice expression.
Thank you, sir. And don't forget about your duty. Work is worship. That's why, with the motivation of your words, my sister and family members, we are still continuing. I'm not in a position to express those things also through my face, feelings, but nothing is in our hand. What I understood, simple living, and never do harm to anyone. If possible, do good. Otherwise, keep silent. This is the only principle, sir.
So you have heard many very penetrating, deep, inspiring, life-changing sentences last 1 year, and you got a great inspiration, and now you are applying. So here engineering means so construction and application of missions. At the same time, here the
Sir, some network issue, I think. వస్తానమ్మా.
Are you listening, Amresh sir?
Yes, sir, I am listening, sir. Please, sir.
Okay. All the best, Amresh sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. So, with the permission of
Okay.
Professor Chinnai, sir, we are really grateful to Professor Chinnai, sir, being with us throughout year. Now, the second year also started. Already, we completed 200 programs. Sir already delivered more than 100 keynote addresses without paying a single paise and extending sir cooperation. Without sir cooperation, it is impossible to organize these programs. Whenever I have any personal problems also, simply I can interact with Professor Chinnai sir to get immediate, just like a doctor and patient. Here social engineering, we can use the word we can use. Professor Chinnai sir few minutes back used the word social engineering. So it is our duty to construct our own life, whether knowledge or whatever you want, likes and dislikes, everything. We are really grateful to you, sir, for your extraordinary keynote address and motivation of the participants to come forward to discuss. Thank you very much, sir. We are really grateful.
Thank you, Amresh sir.
Most welcome, sir. We are really grateful to Professor Prabhasankar Sukla, sir, Honorable Vice Chancellor, North Eastern Hindu University, Professor Raja Reddy, sir, Honorable Vice Chancellor, Sri Venkateswara University, Professor Mithali Kowar, ma'am, Dr. Rajan Prasad Bhattakur, sir, Dr. Srutasini Gogoi, madam, from Moran College, Professor Mipun, sir, ISTD Chairman, Professor Dikshit, sir, IQAC Director, Noble Participant, Professor Venkatrao, sir, and Hema madam, and many other participants who are directly or indirectly. Deeplata Gupta madam from Lucknow, very happy to see madam, you are very active. I'm seeing last few programs, many participants are there here. Really welcome back Srilata Kishori madam, Naresh Parmar sir also always attending, Jagdishwari madam, Sunita madam, all are from Women's Studies, Sri Venkateswara University, Jublata Devi madam from Manipur, Krishna Morari from SVU, even Professor Chennai sir Skala Yesupu also joined, Patel Pratima madam from Gujarat, even I'm seeing Ponam madam recently, but I don't know, Safir from Kerala, and any Sonu Kumar sir from journalism, again UP. So many, Susma Jha, all maximum participants, Vishaka Jha, Pawan Kumar sir from Andhra Pradesh, all the participants with each one with a name. Thank you very much with us. See you again tomorrow and day after tomorrow also. Now national anthem, immediately I can share feedback form, you will get your certificate.
जनगण मन अधिनायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता, पंजाब सिंध गुजरात मराठा द्राविड उत्कल बंगा, विंध्य हिमाचल यमुना गंगा उच्चल जलधि तरंगा, तव शुभ नामे जागे, तव शुभ आशीष मांगे, गाहे तव जय गाथा, जन गण मंगलदायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता, जय हे जय हे जय हे जय 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 हे.
Jai Hind, thank you. Please submit your feedback form.